Fatima and I'm the Operations Manager for Global Ocean. What we're trying to do today is give you a presentation and a run through the workshop we typically give children across the UK within our schools. We hope this will be useful to you, and just a few tips are that you can bring in some plastic when you conduct these workshops, encourage your students to become aware of the plastic around them and also take part. That's it. We hope you enjoy these videos.
Global Ocean aims to inform students and young people about the dangers of plastic pollution in the ocean and ways to reduce their plastic footprint. We typically work with Key Stage 2 students, although our workshop and presentation can be adapted to suit younger audiences, or it can be adapted to suit specific school projects or needs. Typically we cover topics from the UK National Syllabus of Science, Geography, Art and PHSE. Again, these topics can be extended further to incorporate plastic pollution into other areas. Our workshops are also welcomed at environmental education centres, museums, youth groups and field studies centres to enhance pupil learning at these places. We have a range of resources available on our website which contain activities for furthering students' education about the topic of plastic pollution, a couple of which are suggested at the end of the presentation, and these can be downloaded for free.
Plastic pollution in the oceans, a massive topic, something that's very hard to translate for children to care about. Also, due to everyday priorities, something people don't often think about. Plastic pollution has caused countless problems within the oceans and is eventually going to affect human health if it isn't already. Hopefully, what we've given you today will give you the base foundation for what to take to your schools, take to children, take to other people, and educate them. One of the things that we'd like to give you in terms of hints and tips for undertaking these sessions is to be as creative as possible. Make it as easy to understand for kids, make it as easy to relate to, make it as easy to join up with other things you've either spoken to them about, taught them, or things they can visualize. This can involve the plastic that is around them, how they use it every day, what they do with it within the schools, and there's several other things to follow on from that, like setting up recycling ambassador schemes or recycling schemes in the school, eco weeks. It can cover these across the board, and hopefully that can help you with translating this and presenting this to children and adults alike.
So some of you may already be working in an education capacity, whether you're at a school or an environmental centre. If you're not, here's a few helpful tips on bringing the workshop into a local school. Number one is to find and select an appropriate school that might take the workshop in, so Green Plus schools or those with a strict sustainability programme. Number two is to contact the school and find the relevant teacher who will teach the discipline or incorporate the workshop into their topics. So usually we find that the science teacher or the art teacher works very well as a point of contact. Number three is to contact the school. So call up the reception, find out the relevant contact's name and email address and send them across some details about the workshop that you're offering. It's also nice sometimes to send them a personal letter, so in the post, to give that added personal touch and interest in their school. Number five is to also speak to your contacts, so any friends, family, your children's teachers or friends' children's teachers who might be interested in hosting their own workshop.
So during our workshops, after the presentation, we then conduct activities to ensure the children have understood the various components and subjects discussed. One of these components involves the bingo game, which is literally just reiterating the information. It involves asking a number of questions and using these ready-made bingo cards and seeing who can put up their hands and answer the questions we ask. Multiple choice, very easy to do, very exciting, and also a competitive element. Following this, we also have an eco arts workshop, which involves using your hands, using the art and design elements, and actually creating things that you can take home. What we ask children to do for this is bring in 1 to 2 pieces of plastic from home, wash them out, they get quite smelly otherwise, and then create things. So we ask them to think about their favourite sea creatures, we ask them to think about what lives in the sea, what things can be mistaken for example the turtle and jellyfish example, and we ask them to get creative. So this involves quite a lot of hands-on help, so with cutting plastic, which can be very difficult. It involves using Sharpies, using tape and sharing resources, getting people to work together, getting children to get really creative. We have quite a few step-by-step guides on how to create different creatures, including a whale and a seahorse. And we also ensure that they are taking part and active and thinking about the subject matter as we go to each table. Things you need for a workshop, typically. A PowerPoint, a projector, bingo cards, the questions at hand, a few assistants, the ability to be enthusiastic and have a good sense of humour, tape, scissors, sharp scalpels for that plastic, Sharpies, pictures of animals, marine creatures, all sorts, and just being able to engage, so a sense of engagement.